All right. Right, the Glazers are minging. How good? What? Right. Here's what happens. You make me title a video.
Right. No one makes you do anything.
Right.
No one has ever.
First off, you've never titled a video in your life.
And no one makes you do anything. So let's not pretend.
Right, let's rewind.
Right.
They titled the video against my wishes about the Glazers.
But for my wishes.
Right. And also, you didn't tell him that until like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah. It might be breaking. It might be current. I don't care.
And also, right.
I don't want to talk about it.
But you don't care.
You've gone off on the Glazers, right?
Yeah. It's going out tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going out tomorrow.
You've
gone off on the Glazers. So can I not have my...
It's going out at 5 o'clock on Adam Mckola TV.
Can I not have...
Top 10 kits from the 90s.
Yeah, we will talk about the top 10 kits in the 90s. And anyone that says the 1991 kit isn't the best, then is lying.
Well, that is a lie.
But...
Because it's the 92.
Yeah, cool. We had Rude on Real's podcast this morning. It's going out next week. Oh, he dropped some bombs.
Yeah, fuck that. Listen, carry on. Go on.
He doesn't know the protocol here, does he?
Right. You two have had your fucking say. And I want to hear about Rude Van Nistelrooy because it's my favourite ever striker.
Don't worry, I'm going to tell you.
But can I just very briefly talk about the Glazers?
No, not briefly. We need
just to say.
Good 10, 15 minutes.
How long did you chat about? How did you rant about him?
Well, I was on my own. I was unprepared. Yeah. About 15 minutes.
Right.
It was just an off-the-cuff moment. I was like, I was about to give a rating for Pau Torres.
Right, go on.
And then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? We're not signing anyone because these owners are twats. Let me just empty my pockets here a little bit. And like 15 minutes later, I was like, all right, 0 out of 10.
And that's on tomorrow. 0 out of 10. Yeah, because obviously, anyone who doesn't know, they've sold $71 million worth of shares.
$100 million.
$100 million, yeah. Sorry, $100 million worth of shares. All that money's going to Avram, is it?
Yeah, for a fucking hair transplant, I assume.
Yeah, not everyone being bald, mate, embrace it.
Yeah, but you have a ponytail, Jay.
Yeah, that's disgusting. That's arguably as bad as taking everything you've sucked out of the Manchester United Football Club. He's being bald and having a ponytail, you absolute whopper.
How can you just judge that man's decision making?
No,
you can't.
If he walks into your office and says anything,
is there no mirrors in your fucking house, mate? Jesus.
Before he's even said anything, I want to sell some shit. Fuck off, mate. I've come to buy Manchester. No.
How about I buy you a mirror?
Rich people have mirrors on their ceilings as well, innit? So he must.
I think that's that island Epstein had.
Do you now? Yeah.
Fuck. What?
Talking about people that fucked people they didn't want to get fucked. The Glazers.
Yes, well, nicely done. So, the Glazers are taking a load of money, which isn't new. You've gone off on it. Must have just done a statement, though. Which surprised me, because they get a lot of stick most, but I quite like him. Know a couple of them. Duncan and Ian, Man United fans doing the best. A bit of a thankless task.
But it's a proper thankless task.
Yeah, you're always going to get hatred as must, and people are going to say, "Oh, you're in bed with a club and you're not doing this." And
the thing is, you do have to talk to the club.
How can you get safe standing in Old Trafford without having any dialogue with the club?
The supporters trust does need. You can't just stare at them over a table and go.
But I think a lot of people have a bit of a distrust for them because of at the start it started as a thing where all the fans get involved and we'll try and get the Glazers out, and then when people see you then sitting with them, I suppose. But in order to be able to help fans, because they don't just represent fans in that instant, like just with the Glazer ownership, they also represent fans with seating issues, ticketing issues, going away.
They're good for away stuff.
Etc.
Like you go to Lille or wherever, and you get...
And they've just jacked the price up to
and you start...
So they have to keep some sort of dialogue between the club. So like you say, it is a thankless task. But having said that, and I agree, I like Ian, I like the lads, all that kind of stuff. I speak to them and know them. But I was a little bit disappointed in the statement.
Just to briefly, I'm not going to read it all out.
Did they not call them rats?
No, they didn't call them rats. And they've said they welcome the announcement of the sale of shares as a further step towards a more diversified ownership model. Ultimately, this is the Glazer family relinquishing some of its control, albeit in a relatively limited way. It's
not though, is it?
I mean, there's more, and it then goes on to sort of say...
Glazers still own 75 to 76%.
They still own 100%.
Yeah.
If whatever way you look at it,
I get where you're coming from.
25% of non-controlling stakes is literally fuck all. Obviously, you'll make a nice dividend, and you'll be able to maybe raise a little bit of money or whatever by selling your shares.
They could have sold a fatter chunk and paid off the debt that could ruin the club one day. Still,
the reason they don't want to pay off that debt is though because if United are in debt, they pay less taxes in the UK. So keeping us in debt helps them make money.
Imagine.
It's just a vicious circle of shite, and they've got no reason to change it because they're making loads of money. And this is it? You'll know. Is it Tampa, babe?
Bucks.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Fox.
They seem to care about that, or at least give a shit.
Mate, they got them basically Messi.
Yeah. And
They basically went, you want to win the Super Bowl? Here's Messi.
Which is what they did. They won the Super Bowl.
By getting the biggest player, best player.
So they know that that's what you need to do to be successful. And in the meantime, they're like, would you like, albeit he's had a great game last night, would you like some kid from the Ivory Coast?
Yeah. So the fucking, it's all designed. Jamie Burton in Super Chat says, dividends they took last time could not legally be reversed despite the COVID impact. However, they could have loaned it back to United. Priorities, question mark.
Loaned? It's our fucking money.
Yeah, because they're still taking dividends, aren't they?
Money, and it's your money.
Exactly. And what annoys me about this is, like we have in this pandemic, we had that statement, didn't we, from Woodward a few
The club have
weeks
just,
ago.
right, this is mental. The club have just borrowed 60 million to pay the fucking bills, and Ponytail Baldyface is out here fucking withdrawing 100 million to go and fucking build a new bastard swimming pool and extension, the cunt.
You know what I love, yeah?
Ponytail Baldyface. That's not his new name from now on.
That is the greatest thing you have ever said. Well done, bro. I'm proud of you today.
Mate, they do my fucking tits.
You know what I love,
honestly,
yeah?
15 fucking years that they've absolutely shagged this club up the arse. Honestly, 1.6 billion has been drained out of the place. You saw the graph that I had the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, it was
which
sickening.
shows the amount of profit United was making, right? And you should see it from like 2000 to 2005. It's going fucking gadoosh, right? Then the Glazers take over, and we get overtaken by Spurs.
Yeah. You know them graphs where it shows you like who's winning and all that sort of stuff, and the amount of titles they've.
I'm going to do a video on it next week because
Yeah,
it honestly will boil your.
Because everyone
piss.
has this thing, don't they? Oh well, since the Glazers came in, at least
revenue's gone up.
Yeah, but it hasn't.
Watch
not,
this.
Not at the rate that it was. Abhishek, what's Paddy in the super chat? We'll have to do with Torres, Kanate, Kano type young centre backs because no ways Varane, Ramos, Alaba playing under Harry Maguire's captain.
You fucking dreaming.
Superstar,
Not getting any of them.
Don't you realise we're talking about the people that are the reason why we're not getting any of these damn things?
Look for the 5 years.
Fantasy super chat.
Is how I definitely loop it back round to talking about Rude. Look at the 5 years before the Glazers came. Who did we sign? We signed Veron and Ruud van Nistelrooy in one window. I didn't think it was losing again, Jay. Right? Yeah. Then we signed Rio Ferdinand. He turned out all right. Then we signed Cristiano Ronaldo. Then we signed Wayne Rooney. That was the 4 fucking windows prior to the fucking Gimps coming. Right? Then we signed.
And then we got lucky when they came in because
the
shrewd signings like Park, 4 million. Carrick,
Yeah,
16 million. Right,
by the time they got their feet under the table, we was getting Obertan and fucking Michael Owen on a free.
And also,
Michael Owen on a free is Cavani. It's fucking the history repeating itself. Not investing in a proper fucking striker that they should have done. Who would have been the Haaland of the time? Lewandowski, probably.
Benzema?
Yeah, maybe Lewandowski.
Yeah.
One of them fuckers.
Yeah, Benzema.
But
Because
look what
Fergie
we get.
wanted Benzema.
We get
Yeah.
Michael
I
Owen
wanted
on a
his one, I thought we
motherfucking
should've
free.
got. Yeah.
Right?
And
That's what they do. And if
thing-
you don't, they've not got any fucking ambition of us winning the league again. They want us to be in the top 4 because we get Champions League money, and that's all they give a fuck about. Simple.
Wankers.
Do you know what the sad thing is as well? Is when these players come, even Michael Owen, like even Cavani or Igalo, you get behind him as a fan.
You
Do you know what I mean? That's our natural instincts as a fan. You'll support him, you'll get behind him. Do you know what I mean?
Not to think that we're being shafted.
No, that's what I mean. They get away with it because of that. It's like we was like expecting Sancho, and we get Cavani, and we all get into that. We all buy into it. And we all give it. Eddie,
Cavani might have been the Haaland of the time.
Ponytail, baldy face.
Yeah, you might be right.
That's a good point. Luke H says, lads, speaking of 91, was the atmosphere then much different going to the games now? Also, were away days better? Do you remember, right, when you scored at Trafford? I didn't know if they were like employees or they just did it. All the guys that used to face the front. Do you remember? Like when I used to go as a kid, there used to be people that used to face the crowd.
Oh yeah, them lot.
Like, but it was like they did it all game.
Yeah, that's
like,
hard.
It's like when you go to Germany now, these guys at the front with a megaphone.
I remember there was a period where I was
Who's
going
got
to
a
games.
megaphone?
Yeah, it was like that. Like a guy. I remember when I
Can't
first
get a
went.
fucking lid on me, Lil.
There was
How's
like
he got a
guy
megaphone?
Stood right in front of me and my dad, and he was like, he literally didn't even watch the fucking game, but he was obviously a nutty red.
I remember when you'd see stewards just not like when. I remember the first time I seen a steward watching the game, I was like, "You're not supposed to be watching the game." Because they're never supposed to be facing the pitch, are they?
No.
They're supposed to be facing
My
the
dad
fan.
did that for a little while.
They only started asking us to sit down after the Glazers as well.
Really?
Yeah, that's when it was a thing. Because that's when they put up a sign in K-Stand at least anyway, saying you may only stand during periods of excitement. Well, I'm fucking excited when I walk in.
Periods of excitement.
Yeah, like you're supposed to sit down.
Pop a Viagra
Shut up,
before you
you
go in.
dick.
Stand up
Ross
all
Murphy, Howson, I applaud you. Rocking the shirt, Adam.
See, you know what? That's what I love, Jay. This douche here comes on here. I don't want to talk about that today. Oh, very fucking enough.
Oh, he wound me up.
And then he gets stuck in. That's what it's all about.
And people love that.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
Fuck the Glazers
Yes.
till the death of me.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Or them, hopefully. Them.
Yeah.
I took the Love United 8 Glazer stickers to Afghanistan.
Yeah, I remember
If
that.
you've not seen them,
Good job they fucking did out there, didn't they?
Let's not start talking about things now.
But-
like,
did they make viral photographs in 2006? Yes, they did.
hey, we walk a very thin line in this gaff. We need to get it on.
Sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes it spills over. The passion.
But yeah, going back to the super chat,
Someone else is saying,
what was the atmosphere
not
like
true,
in the early
1996,
90s?
I was told to sit down. You will have times when you
No,
were told
that
to
was
sit down.
Tannoy Woman. And that was, right, Joe, you,
Yeah.
you won't necessarily know this, but Adam, who is, not that guy, one of our producers upstairs.
Adam
does all
Patterson.
of the, that's us gone.
No. Still on.
The electric's gone in here.
Yeah.
What? Hang on. Are we still streaming? Yeah. Right, cool.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
The power has gone, right? What's it? What do you
No,
call it?
someone's fucked the lights.
Right.
Flues.
But
All right, cool. Anyway, what the fuck
This
was
gonna
it?
look-
bring up that super chat, Cam.
This is
so I
going to
can
look
see it.
so good
The-
on the shot.
Cam, let's just look at the stage. Oh, it's not that
Oh,
bad.
sick. It looks good, man. It looks like we're like...
The atmosphere in
Moody
the early
lighting.
90s. Oh, sorry, Tannoy Woman, right?
Yeah.
So Tannoy Woman, it was against Arsenal,
I love him. He's
1996.
off his head, isn't he?
Right? 1996, Tannoy Woman. Was playing against Arsenal. I remember it because David Seaman had hurt himself and was doing the old wounded soldier trick, to like getting
fucking-
up dead slow and all that lot.
Crimea River.
And then a woman got on. Will K-Stan please sit down? And everyone was like, fuck off! Not sitting down. And Adam's dad, was the one who was like, nah, fuck this, stand up, stand up. That's where Stand Up for the Champions came from.
Really?
Yep. K-Stand, about 1996.
The question to Howson, this is Amal Coastman in the super chat. This question to Howson, why did the previous owner sell the club to the Glazers?
In 1991, great year,
You're,
Manchester United
well
were
equipped to
floated
answer
and
this.
became a public limited company by Martin Edwards, and formerly it was owned by him and his dad for generations and
Louis
generations.
Edwards.
We became a limited company, which meant that any man and his dog, including all of us lots at this table, could buy shares in
dad had
the
it.
club.
Did it?
Loads of people did. Everyone had like
You got
one.
four.
didn't
Wow.
they?
He held on to them. Some
It was
people
like £2.
You got forced to sell them, didn't you?
Hostile
But
takeover.
some people
Once the
just held.
Glazers
My
got
dad
to a
just held
certain
them.
amount, the Glazers bought your shares. Yeah.
Compulsory purchase order, wasn't it?
Correct.
So you took shit.
So
Can't, no
up
choice.
until the mid-90s, every now and then Edwards would sell off like a percentage of his shares. He was the majority shareholder. He would always sell off a little bit of his shares. Sky, you might remember this, bought like 9.99% of the shares because they actually had holdings in United, Leeds, Tottenham.
This is P Sky B.
Yeah, they had about 5 clubs that they had a holding in, and you couldn't go more than 9.99%. Otherwise, then it became conflict of interest because I don't know what the fucking difference is, but that's apparently the difference. Sky then got rid of their shares. JP Magner and McManus, which is the owners of the Rock of Gibraltar. Honestly, this is like it's like a CSI map. This shit,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
Like the owners of Rock of Gibraltar, who then fell out with Fergie. They owned about 34%.
Horse spunk.
They owned 34% of the club. The Glazers at this time owned about 20% or so of the club. Martin Edwards owned a fat chunk, and then there was like 15-20%, which was like match going Reds or no Reds around the world.
Spread out.
And then as it got towards 2005, I think for about 2 years beforehand, anytime any percentage of shares came available, the Glazers kind of just went zoink, zoink, zoink. Then the big deal really happened when McManus and Magnier sold directly to the Glazers, and then the Glazers became like
And they wouldn't have done that.
50%
If he hadn't fell out with
shareholders.
Fergie.
If Fergie
Woodward
didn't
sold
sue.
his share. Now the Glazers own like 75% of the club, and at some point they reached a threshold by buying up like the £2 shares here, there, and everywhere, where they owned enough of the club to be able to just jack it basically from everybody else. Then they loaded it with £660
But that's a
million
disgrace
worth of
in
debt.
itself because, like what he just said, they loaded us with their debt. So their debts became our debts. So if they couldn't afford to pay what they owed the banks, we were fucked, not them.
Yeah.
And that was the disgraceful thing about it. They bought
they
the
did
club
not know-
without their own money.
They
And they
didn't
were
know
allowed
Sky
to
Money
buy
was
it.
gonna do
Proper
what it
fit,
did either.
No.
like fit and proper test, all that bollocks.
Rubbish.
Went out the window,
If
mate.
you've got a membership or a season ticket, you've literally put more in that one season than the Glazers.
Bring up
have
that
put in.
super chat, Cam. Sorry.
Ever.
Derek Best says, I didn't come here to actually hear about the Glazers. I came here to hear about the greatest trophy ever, the 91 Cup Winners' Cup.
Sit tight.
UTFR. Don't worry, we'll be getting to that in a minute.
Where was the 1991 Cup Winners' Cup held?
Rotterdam,
Which is in which country?
Germany. I said the wrong answer just to fuck you.
Which is in which country?
Go on.
Doucheland, the greatest.
The Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
Peter Pan tackle.
Ruud van Nistelrooy's from the Netherlands.
Me and Mackie have done a members video talking about Ruud van Nistelrooy briefly as well. If you want to check that out.
He was in both our teams.
That'll be up soon. Yes. No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
Wasn't it mine?
Was he in mine?
Yeah. Was it? Yeah.
Fucking, he should have been in mine.
What was he in mine? Was he in
Do you know
yours?
what though? Let's just talk about it. Yeah, how about join the membership and you'll fucking find out? Stupid, pointless
Eric made
fucking
an appearance,
argument.
didn't he? And that
Yeah.
changed a lot of
I
things.
had Ruud and
I had
Eric.
I had Ronaldo and Eric.
All right. Or you could just ignore it and talk about it on the actual show you've done rather than fucking
Oh, all right.
shit this one.
Sorry,
up.
Mr.
Sitting there trying to fucking
Sorry,
talk about
Mr.
the 1991 Cup.
Sorry, Mr. Structured podcast all of a sudden. Go on then.
Guess
Tell
how
us-
old I was in 91? 2.
Were you there? Did you go to Rotterdam?
Yeah.
Fucking
Stood
part-time,
outside.
Should think so. Special
Yeah.
tokens
Yeah.
from behind closed
Stabbing
doors
all the
games.
Barca fans.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell you how absolutely fucking completely mugged off I got? Someone said, those of you who are of a certain vintage will remember tokens and token sheets. You used to have to get them from a program, but then
League
people just
match
bought
ticket.
10 lots of programs. No, like you actually get a token in your program. You had to cut it out.
Yeah.
I've seen
You
them.
remember
I
that,
don't,
don't you?
I don't
You don't
remember
remember
doing it personally, but,
But then you had to get the centre of your ticket. So
Yeah.
for like the most of the 90s, the centre of your ticket was your token. Because you can't really forge tickets. And obviously you can't go and buy 20 tickets. You've got your ticket. You know, people would go in and buy stacks of programs because they was applying for cup finals and stuff. But then everyone was like, well, I don't like cutting my fucking ticket up, mate, because I like to keep my tickets and stuff like that. So that's when they moved into entirely different systems. But I remember talking to someone once, I must have been like 12, went proper whoosh over my head. And it was like, they was talking about special tokens. So you could get special tokens. And I remember, I think I told Jay about this one. We went into a game at Old Trafford. Now, I'm, 9, 10, 11, something like that. We're going to Old Trafford. It's a weekday. It's like, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday or something like that. My dad's picked me up from school. We go to Old Trafford, we go through the turnstile, and he drags me back by my collar. And he's like, what are you doing? And he goes,
Go through again.
we're going out and we're going through again. So you can get because the program is your token. So we've gone through, we've got our tokens, this, that, and the other. And then I've got to go again. He's fucking calling me again. I'm like, this fucking old bastard. He's gone, right, we're going to the pub. And I was like, there's literally a reserve game going on. And I like football. So I'm like, and we were wearing that the blue Aztec kit at home. How mad's that, right? So I'm like, well, watch the match. It's probably like Ryan Giggs playing or something like that. It's like 91, 92.
Yeah.
It was probably for the Rumbelows Cup final.
I think
imagine it for.
this sounds crackers, but I might have been at that game because I remember going to a game where Mark Bosnich was in net for us. It was the academy team, but it might have been the Rezzies.
And
And
what do you
you-
away kit at all?
Yeah, and you got the tokens, and that's what we went through several
Yeah.
times because of that. 'Cause
Then we
you got
went in the
tokens.
Ghost.
Dan's brought back a memory
on.
there, though. There used to be people that would buy your tickets outside the ground, used tickets.
Yeah, probably for that.
Mate, when I was a little kid, right, what we used to do when I was
I ain't
about
finished my
10
story yet, Jay.
Oh, sorry, go on then.
So I went in the Ghost, and then
We'll
we'll
talk about this later.
one of the blokes in the pub was like, did you not get the special token from the bloody blah? I was like, no, what's the special token like? He was like, it was a behind closed doors game. And I was like, well, how do we go with that? You two fuckers worked it out.
Yeah.
It's behind closed doors. Can't
Yeah,
go.
but you can't go. It's behind closed doors. Mug me off.
It's like telling someone to go to the DIY shop for a long wait, isn't
Right?
it?
Yeah, or
But
time
yeah,
paid.
I'm 12 and I'm going, Dad, we need to go to this behind closed doors game. And he's like, you're a fucking idiot. And I'm like, why? Well, how do we go to this game now?
See, I'm of the era where because I was a member, and I'll let you tell your story now. I remember the era of we'd get our books. I've got a few at home, so I'll bring one in for you if you want. You'd get your book with the membership,
Yeah.
which was like the application book, and I would be a dickhead. So when the fixtures would come out, I'd fill in all the book.
Right.
The fixtures changed, don't
Yeah,
they? So
yeah.
once they change, you're fucked. My dad would have to get a new book sent out. But like, you'd post the book out with like what tickets you wanted, how many you needed, just membership number and that. And then like a week, 2 weeks before the game, if you had that, it was a proper thin envelope. So you knew it was the tickets.
Did you ever clock that it was your dad's handwriting on it though? Because you used to have to send your own envelope.
Oh, I can't remember that much.
Because that was how
But I remember there used to be periods where
was a letter.
there was one example, for example, where he didn't tell me we had got the ticket.
Right.
So it was the Barcelona game with
there's
Scholes.
nothing
That
better than
happened.
that.
So he's
nothing better
gone.
than that.
I haven't got a ticket, but we had watched games in Manchester before, and he's gone. We're going to go up there and we'll just see what happens. And then as we're walking down, he's gone. Hey, and that was the white envelope, the thin one, and I was like, shit. And he's done that a few times, and yeah, just getting ready to wake up, run down, and see if that. Because now you can check it online banking.
Yeah, it's shit now.
You can. There's so many things you get a text.
You get the email.
But then you just had to wait for the post.
Yeah, well, do you know what it's called? Chubbed.
Is it the guy?
Chub Club.
The guy was called Chubb, yeah. His
I didn't
surname was
realise
Chubb.
that.
I
You
can't
told
remember
me
what his
that a few
first
weeks
name
ago.
was.
I remember the logo that used to be on forums with Chub Club with the blue nose. Was it a blue nose?
I think so, yeah, because it was the Bertie Magoo thing. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was literally, he'd write you a letter and say, you've been unsuccessful in your application for this time. Oh, fuck
you.
Chubbed.
Because I remember, like, you were saying you used to get the match tickets when I was about 10. We'd wait outside and ask people for, like, proper chavs. Wait outside for them. Like, can I have you a ticket? Like, because people just throw them and like, give them that. And then we go to the touts and say, right, yeah, I'll give you like 5 match tickets. Can we have 5 tickets? Can we have a ticket for the next game? It's all like £4 a ticket or whatever, but you get enough of them. Fucking happy days, get a ticket.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, and I think is that a charm of the game that's gone?
Yeah, a little bit. Because like when we was kids, we used to go to Old Trafford, me and my mates, right? We had no money, no ticket. It was about,
unallocated seating was a big
and we just try and
thing
fucking get in somehow.
Oh yeah,
Do you know what I
I've
mean?
done that at so many
Like,
stadiums.
Yeah, like right, we'll try and get in.
When United used to play at Villa Park,
Yeah.
I used to just there was
Yeah.
once my dad had a mate that worked in the ticket office. We were sorted forever then. But like before that period, there used to be times where I'd just think, fuck it, we'll try and get in, or you just try and walk in. I even remember Evra scoring in Germany. Just trying to walk in. I never had a ticket. Just trying to
do you remember the...
I'll just walk,
Do you know
right?
Do you know the Mancini City scarf, the blue scarf?
Yeah.
Well, they give them out at City, didn't they?
Of course they do. They give them away with tickets, don't
But they give it away
Like,
for one
literally,
of... It was one of the derbies. It was the one where Darius Vassell missed the penalty, right?
Oh, yeah.
So for that game, I didn't have a ticket. I'd been hanging around outside for ages, and I saw a guy in a wheelchair wheeling himself in, and I was like, here we go. As he was wheeling himself in, I was like, I got you, mate, don't worry. Starts pushing him in. I'm like, where are we going here?
Whoa,
He's like,
too quick, this.
he went through that door there. I went, sound. There's a guy in an orange jacket on the door. I was like, all right, pal. Wheels him in. I was like, what floor? He's like, 2. He pressed 2. He's standing there.
Yeah, see you later. Right,
I wheeled him out of the lift. I was like, right, sound. I walked out onto the concourse. The
concourse.
It was at City, wasn't it? So I walk out onto I'm on the top tier. So as I look, I've looked out, I've got him in the bottom right corner of the ground. So I went in at like just a door near Asda, on the Asda side. I've walked in, I'm on the top finger, and I've looked, and United are like, we mustn't have had the top tier this time, because we usually have the both, don't we?
Yeah.
But I saw United was down there, and I was like, right, I need to go out, down, and like quarter of the ground round. So I've gone back out, I've gone down some fire escape, got to the bottom floor, opened the door, and it's starting to the game's starting, so there's like hardly anyone kicking around. So I've just walked up to this massive, I don't know if you've ever seen the doors that separate the home and away.
Yeah.
Just a big iron door. So I've knocked on the door and go, mate, I'm with Dave, the programme seller. And he went, all right, and you come.
Perfect.
It's like with, I know we're going to go to super chats.
Yeah, we'll read them out.
And I walk into the finger, and it's like a stewards and copper meeting going on, like right there. And I walk in, and I go, oh, shit. And I just casually look at like the first sort of entrance in. I just kind of like dead casually like walk up the stairs, and one of them goes, "Excuse me, pal, you got a ticket?" And I was like, "Yeah." I ran down the stairs, jumped to my right, and got dragged out and kicked out.
It's like with me and producer Chris used to do it a lot. So at games, if we went to games, and so doing Devils and Paddock, obviously, I go to games regardless if I've got a ticket or not, away games.
Yeah.
So if I haven't got a ticket, me and producer Chris would do this thing where he would just hold the camera out, I'd hold my mic, and we just walk up to stewards and they go, open the door and let you in. And like, that's worked at Bristol City. Like Bristol City, did we play Bristol City in the cup recently?
We did it in
I
Preston
stood in the corner watching the whole game, like in the corner of the 2 Bristol City stands. Just stood there like this with the camera, watching the game. Midgetland, We went into that one. We just walked because for their stadium, you know them stadiums where you can walk around the whole stadium.
Yeah.
You can't do that in many, but that one you could. And then we walked around the whole stadium, walked into the
do it at Old
executive
Trafford?
box, and I took a selfie with Bobby Charles.
We have got some super chats. We're going to read them out in a minute. In fact, I'll read them out now. Ian says, just want to wish Peter Walton good luck tonight at the most pointless job in football awards. Surely he has to be the favourite to win. Peter Walton is proper pointless, isn't he? Chris Lowe says, the Glazers lobbied the Tampa County to place a tax on all residents to pay for half of the Tampa Bay Stadium. They ended up paying for all of it. It's not just here. They are pricks. Seems like the global twats.
That's unbelievable. Can you imagine that?
I know, I can't. That's awful. Peter Kelly says, would you rather win the next 10 league titles but always lose to City, or win 5 of the next 10 but always hammer City? I'd rather win all the titles.
When we used to win the league, we used to lose to City a lot.
In 2008, remember, we lost home and away.
To be fair, it's what City have kind of said to us this year. Like, we don't care because we're going to win the league. And you're like, yeah, you got points.
It's like Ollie as a player never beat City.
Didn't it?
Two.
Yeah,
To be
but
fair, he wouldn't have played them that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
two draws, 2 defeats, so 4 games, but
fucking 4 games.
You
That's
never beat
everything
him.
you need to know about them.
how long?
Jidey
10
says,
years?
nothing off about selling personal shares. If the club issued new shares, the money would be the club's. If anything less...
it's not less
Right.
ownership though, bro.
Glazer,
I know it looks like that.
ownership is good. I don't agree with
I
that.
know it looks like
No,
when you
less
see
Glazer ownership.
Oh, sorry, less Glazer
79.9%.
ownership. Sorry, less Glazer ownership is good. Sorry, I read that out wrong.
When it goes from 80% to 75% or whatever it's gone to, I can understand people being like, oh, this is good. They're beginning to fuck off. But they're not.
That's sort of Muster saying that, aren't they? They're saying anything that diversifies the shares is a positive thing.
They're here to
albeit
stay, bro. They're
only
not going
small.
anywhere.
Mate, if I give you a sandwich, right, and 25% of it is shit, are you willing to call it a ham sandwich?
That's a shit sandwich, bro.
Thank you.
Okay, there you go. And that's what our owners are.
Brandon Reisner says, I'm a university student studying sports broadcasting journalism and have to write a story. I have a story to write and I'm doing it on Man United. I love the show and would greatly appreciate it if I could use y'all as sources.
You do want to pass, don't you?
Yeah, don't use us as sources, mate. You'll get a fucking D.
John in the comments says it was half a
You'll
chub.
get
Yeah, that was
you'll
it.
get some deal.
Half a
right?
chub. Oh, there you go, John Neild.
Can you make the
Half a
comments
chub,
bigger for us,
that's
please,
it.
Cam?
Yes. See,
Half
I just
a
thought it was
chub.
like a nick, chubbed. But yeah,
Chub Club.
No, it was, I knew
Because that's what they
definitely
used
this
to.
guy's
Because there
surname.
used to be a thing on Must Forum called Chub Club, and if you never had a ticket, you just go in there and be like, "I ain't got a ticket," and someone might try and help you out or let you know where a screening was.
I think it was on one of the Fergie documentaries, I think. Do you know the one where Eamon Holmes kind of followed him around for a little
fuck
bit?
off.
No, but listen, hear me out.
Right.
I think they interview Alpha Chubb on it.
Really?
I think so.
Eamon Holmes loves us, you know.
Well, I don't love
I met him
Holmes.
at the Northwest Football Awards, and he came up to me like,
No, I said Jay Motty was his favourite.
"I love you guys. Keep up the good work and all that." I remember that. That was funny.
Ryan R says, as someone who is 14,000 kilometres away from Manchester, I love listening to these old stories of going to games. I'm jealous, but it makes me feel closer. Yeah, we are quite lucky in the sense that we could just jib
I
in
started a mint thread
sometimes.
on Twitter. Have you seen it?
What is
of
it?
all the old pictures from the games and that.
But I don't understand that you didn't go to any games until 2000.
Yeah, I didn't, but I found some pictures. You know what I mean? And I just been
Shopping
uploading them.
skills on point.
Yeah, but now like found some amazing like. That's what I had this YouTube channel, youtube.com/MUFC ads. Yeah. And I used to
Well,
just
it's just
upload,
adverts for
like,
Manchester United.
It had a
that's
Z,
it.
didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, it had a fucking Z.
I was young ads. But nah, I used to like just, you know,
What?
I miss it. I had a sick YouTube channel basically, and it was just walking into ground. So it was the fan like walking through the tunnels, walking into the ground, walking up the stairs, or a corner. And Scholes' volley was on there, for example, at Villa Park. Like little things like that. And then I deleted the channel about a year.
I didn't take photos or anything.
No, I was the
'cause
same.
You just took it for granted.
I never took photos with my dad, which is
Yeah.
weird. Like I wish I had a picture with my dad outside Old Trafford on my first game. I haven't got that, but we used to take because he worked in property. So in his car, he'd always have a camera to take pictures of houses.
Probably a digital one as well.
So as soon as I take it with me and take it into the ground and that. That's how I had all them pictures. And I found a folder which was just like pictures from football games, it was called. And because I've had some sort of OCD when I was a kid, I used to save the folder with the opposition, the date, and the location. So I've got like just a file ready.
Proper
like,
catalogue.
Yeah,
It's a shit because our old season ticket we used to share was near the tunnel. Do you remember when Mascherano got sent off?
Yeah.
That's the one time I had a camera on me for some strange reason. I had a camera with me. I can't remember why. But you can see, like on the photos of it, on like I think it was the MEN or someone had photos of it not long ago. You can see me on the thing taking a photo of him, but I lost the fucking camera.
Look at that.
So I lost like any decent pictures out of
See,
that. And I was the only one I took a camera to.
All the titles of the teams and that. Versus Villa, Roma.
I reckon I maybe only until like
Kiev.
camera phones maybe took 3 or 4 photos.
That's
Remember
what I mean, I didn't say that,
mid-90s?
that's the only time.
I don't
That's 'cause
know
I
if
was
you remember it. Do you remember widescreen photos? Remember them for a
remember
minute?
it.
Like really thin letterbox shaped photos.
the long ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good then.
But real photos. I had a camera that shot them or like developed as them because I remember I had a fucking wicked photo that I took of Cantona right in front of me because we was in North Stand for some fucking reason. But it's the only benefit of being in North Stand is like you get a good angle from it like that. And it was just Cantona pretty much on his own, like hands on his hips, like normal, playing against like Sheffield United or something like that. And that was it. And it was. I remember it just being on this letterbox style thingy. And then, like, where are they? Fuck knows.
Shit, I know.
In a garage somewhere.
Like, yeah, probably. Jacob OC says, bit overcast in the studio today. Yes, it is. You're right.
We need to fix that.
The lights went out mid-podcast. Yeah, also, can we hit some likes? Can we have 800 likes? I don't know what we're on. But, yeah, hit that like button. Well, miles away. We're on 250 likes. Come on. Paul Brown says, JL's parking on. Yeah.
Look at the quality of that photo.
Fucking hell. Did you hand...
It's Ronaldo and Rude, though.
Did you hand draw that with some crayons?
It's so good. Sorry, people.
That Rooney with that.
Yeah, you can't see these photos, guys.
Wild.
There's
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Jesus, that's shit.
You don't want to see these photos, guys. The nostalgic, but they look like they've been
That's a
taken
good one. Ronaldo running.
with a fucking paintbrush and easel.
Yeah. Go on my Twitter, you'll find them.
Yeah.
Rio.
Don't fix it, just name it Steve Adam J in the dark. That
The Glazers know what it takes.
takes on a whole
Hang on,
different
hang on,
meaning,
hang on.
that.
Hang on.
Go on.
Right, Justin, you fucking double wrong on this. The Glazers know what it takes to manage a sports club. No, they don't.
Yeah, I'd disagree with that.
Woodwood
first.
never changed shit at Manchester United.
Everybody
Go on,
copied
read it
Woodward
out.
when he changed the business model of United. Now we've got a new director of football, so I think overall it's not bad. For starters, that director of football, not a lot of people fucking digging him from within the club. Because I know you did a reaction to it the other day. I'm not just going to do a reaction to it. I've been digging to try and find out. Like, Murtaugh's been at the club for a long fucking time.
Yeah, I saw that. But I said I didn't...
Bro, ain't Matt Judge the director of football anyway?
No, he's the guy that-
When I did my sort of reaction, one of the things I
Pussies.
said was like, I'll see. Don't know a lot. Been at the club, was at Everton, was at the Premier League as an elite development, whatever the fuck that means. We'll see how this goes. It could go either way. I've not got any knowledge. You know a little bit more about the geezer, don't you?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to find it. I mean, I spoke to a couple of players who've left and said, talk to me about him because I believe he had a lot to do with like hands-on with players and stuff like that as part of the education that they used to have to get.
The articles I was reading out were saying.
So a bit of a mixed bag of some people said, yeah, I thought it was sound, thought it was really nice, and some people said it was a bell end. So I'm putting together, some source material, doing actual journalism for a change.
Yeah. Well,
So
why not?
MEN could learn a thing or two.
Don't talk.
The thing is, like, us getting a new director of football, it means nothing. Because I'll tell you what, there's a bloke right behind me on this fucking wall who was offered the job, who tells me that it wasn't a fucking real job. And he said all he wanted was a shit deflector, which sounds about right.
Patrice Evra.
Yeah.
The person you
Remember
talked about
Woodward
who was
trying to
offered
be
it.
all friends with him, trying to hang around with Evra. God,
But,
pussy hole.
well, do you know why it went to... Sorry, I don't know if I'm breaking bank on this or not, like, but
Go on.
he phoned him up after Paris. Him and Pogba was, like, celebrating us beating Paris.
Yeah.
And he phoned up saying, a director of United don't act like that. He was like, I don't fucking work for you.
Really?
Pussy hole.
Who's that Woodward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone else, JD, in the super chat says...
Jeed, I think.
Jeed, sorry, says, with preemptive rights, Avram would have had to first offer the shares to existing shareholders. This says that despite the dividends, they're illiquid. Adam Mckola, do you want to explain what all that means? Because I don't understand any of it.
It's not liquid, isn't it?
Fine. So they're either...
Solid or a gas.
Solid or a gas, yeah?
Yeah.
See, I remember that from chemistry.
They're insoluble as well.
You see. Brandon Reisner said the high press counter-attacking we did against City worked. Then being one of the strongest teams in the world, why do you all think it's so hard to maintain that style?
Because not
of
everybody
play
plays
if
the
it
same
works?
way City do against us.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll give you a simple thing.
Ali Milani, welcome to the first team as well.
Yeah,
Sorry.
man.
Usain Bolt is the fastest man in the world. Why doesn't he run marathons at that speed?
Because he's not really that quick.
Do you remember when people were like, you say Bolt's going to be a footballer? I was like, should get him.
I hated that. I hated that period of time.
I dig it. Right?
Why?
No, I
because
hate
he literally
that.
went to
I
the
hated
Australian third division and was shit.
I hated that period of
they
time.
They played him as a winger. He's 6 foot bastard 7, Jay. Do you know where you play him? Centre half.
Or you
Are
don't
you getting
play
done
him.
for legs? No.
Or you don't play him because this isn't fucking Big Brother starting 11. This
Jay?
is Manchester United Football Club.
It's not a UNICEF game.
Yeah.
Right? Don't play him up front because people think, oh, he's quick. No, you can be quick going backwards. Centre half. Is he getting out jumped?
Bro, you're saying
Not
Bolt
on
isn't
your
better than me,
balls.
bro.
He was terrible at football, though. It doesn't matter. It's not the problem wasn't the position they played him. The problem was he couldn't play football. Like,
Chris Smalling!
right.
You know what was funny?
I know what you do now.
You know when
I'm
I
not
replaced...
going in.
You
What
could,
do you mean you know what I'm doing?
this is a
I'm
good
not
lead
going
on to
there.
Rude. This is a good
I know
lead
you
on to
too
Rude,
well.
so you like this.
Yeah.
Remember when I did the podcast for you the other week because you jacked it off as you do everything else?
Not in front of the children. I'm not doing this again.
But basically, there was a point on that podcast where I talk about Smalling and how stiff he looks and how he looks like he's been overtrained how to pass the ball. And when I mentioned that, Rio laughed. Like it was something he had thought of before. Like, or it's something that footballers laugh
I'm
at.
in a group chat with him, and he is fucking brutal on a match day. And my entire life is to get him to be like he is on camera, how he is in that fucking group chat. Because watching a match with him,
How do you do that, though, when he's saying things? Do you argue with him?
yeah.
Like, there's times when
sometimes.
You'll go like, nah, I think...
It's usually about a left back.
Right,
but,
let's not regurgitate that as we're being.
and actually, it's not even necessarily arguing about a left back because he agrees more than he fucking pretended to on that camera.
So anyway, fuck that. Give us some exclusives.
Yeah,
from
come on.
Rude.
Let's save Rude
Right,
before
so
we wrap up.
obviously
The
we've got
greatest
Rude
striker.
coming out on Friday. All I'll say is, next Friday, Cameron. Next
Thank
Friday
you,
is
Cam.
going out. We've
That's what I was
got
gonna say. Thanks, Cam.
we got him talking about his relationship with Ronaldo because obviously there was a lot of talk about his relationship with Ronaldo.
Can I ask you something?
You just did. But go on.
Another. Can I ask you something else?
Yeah.
Other than that, is the story about him telling Ronaldo to go and cry to his daddy about
That
Carlos
is true.
Queiroz? Is that true?
He
that-
didn't, he didn't
say
say
that?
it,
Right.
but as we had a bit of a chat this morning. It's fucking 7 a.m. we had to do it.
My heart bleeds.
Oh, shut up, right?
Fucking hell.
So-
God forbid you have to get up at half 6 to interview one of the greatest strikers in the history of association football.
I said to Rio, look, there's a load of myths around the Rude and Ronaldo relationship. And I went, I want to know, is it true before I bring it up and look a dick?
Yeah.
Is it true you twatted him about it? And he went, yeah, it's true. Ask him when we're on there. So we did, and they had a bit of a laugh about it. They said they nearly had a fight in training over it.
Because
So,
Rio was sticking up for Ronnie.
yeah, Rude left one on Ronaldo, and Rio nearly fucking ended him for it. So,
That's what we're missing, though. Not people leaving things on
No,
training, but
character.
leaving his character a bit.
and he said, you get in the change room afterwards, you'd be looking at each other like fuming, and then start laughing. He goes, because you realise it's about the standards, it's about this, that, and the other, and it's about just wanting to be a fucking winner.
Yeah.
It was a really fucking good podcast, to be honest, because obviously he's a coach, he's trying to be a manager, or he's a manager trying to work his way up. I don't know if this is an exclusive or not, but he's going to be managing in the Dutch Championship next season as manager.
Den Bosch and them, man. Coming.
He's also going to be part of the Euros as assistant manager. So I think there's all sorts in the podcast that's worth listening to.
You know what I love as well? Because he sat there with Rio, and you'll find this with a lot of them. Like, if it was just you and Joel...
We don't
and
get the
Rude-
same interview.
No, yeah, like, because Rio knows some of this shit really happened, he can't ask him, and then he goes, yeah, that's not true.
Oh, yeah, the press made that up. He'd be like...
Because my man will be like, well, I know it is true. So
Yeah.
you get a different side to them when they're getting interviewed, not only by a former colleague and teammate and friend, but someone that knows what happened.
I had
that's the
one
best
question
thing.
written down I didn't get to ask him. And we did over an hour as well.
The fuck did you write it down for then?
I have all sorts of notes on my thing in front of me while I'm talking. And the one question I wanted to ask him was, when you imagine yourself as a player, what kit are you in? Because he only played over 100 games for United. It was the only club he stayed at for that length of time. And I don't think United fans treat him like he's one of ours, like Joe, completely and wholly like we do some players. And I think he suffers a little bit because his title win, the one title he won an FA Cup and a League Cup, but he won one title. It was like, I said this to you before, didn't I? If there can be a worst title that we won, It's that 2003 one.
Bartes in goal.
Because
and
it was kind of like, it was a transitional side. We never retained it. It was stuck
Your boy
in between
left in
two
the centre.
Champions Leagues.
Yeah, it was.
Like, so it wasn't
Beckham's last one, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't like a vintage, like well-loved sort of side. And I think Rude suffers because of that. Because when you look at what he did for us, mate,
if
he
you look
was
at the amount of time
unreal.
he spent at United and the amount of time he spent at Real Madrid, if you told any player you're going to spend 10 years at United and Madrid, you'd expect a couple Champions Leagues. And he probably picked the worst period of time to be at those two clubs, which is mad.
Well,
But if he stays at United for
if
stays at United for 10 years, or had Real Madrid for 10 years, the things that he goes,
If he stayed at United for another
he
3
would
years,
be our
he
top
would've
goal
won.
scorer.
He would have won 3 more. He scored 150 goals in 5 years.
205 games. It was 200 games, 215
219.
if you include substitution appearance. I know his record off the top of my head. It's one of the best records about.
How many goals? Cam, Google this for us. How many goals is Marcus on?
He's on 85, I think.
85. He's 170 away from Rooney's record.
So, and
But Rude is at a similar. How many games?
how many games has Marcus played?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I think that's about 250.
It's an
Right.
unfair
So
comparison, but yeah.
it's probably more. It is an unfair comparison, but it's still a comparison.
Yeah.
In 5 years, Rude scored 150 goals.
Yeah,
For
it's
those of you who can't
phenomenal.
work maths out, that's 30 goals
Guaranteed
a season.
a
Boom, boom,
calendar
boom,
year.
boom. He scored 44 goals one season. There's only 3 players that have scored plus
Over 40.
40. One was Dennis Law. He won the Ballon d'Or that year. One was Cristiano Ronaldo. He won the Ballon d'Or that year. The other was Ruud van Nistelrooy. And he did win a lot of personal honours, but one of them
Do you
was
know
not
the player
Ballon
who
d'Or.
breached 30 goals just before, who was the last one before Ronaldo and Rude?
Brian McClare.
Hey.
Trick
Fucking
question,
come
that.
on here and
'Cause
fucking
people-
show my fucking...
No, it's a trick question because
Yeah.
people don't look like
1988,
Brian
Jay?
McClare like that.
1988?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. 87 to 88, I think would have been, or 88 to 89.
Mother's Day
Sleeping
weekend,
on
what you got for your mother?
I've got to buy my mum something. And then
No, yeah,
kid-
but
and
what are you going to buy?
Missus something from the kids as well. I've not done any of it yet. I'll have to do it on the way home.
Gin.
Do you going to buy, do you need something from
Looks
the
like
kids?
it, doesn't it?
You got it, haven't you? Otherwise, you just
Oh,
like
yeah,
it.
Blake went to Tesco on her own and
Yeah.
she's got you a new ironing board.
You've always
Don't
wanted-
look at me. She bought it. I just paid for it.
Moms are like that, aren't they? You know, when you go, what do you want for Christmas?
Just you happy.
I'll just have a
Oh, shut
teapot.
up.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, bruv? Like, what are you on about?
Just before we wrap up, Matthew Brooks says in the super chat, Rude was the man who got me into footy. That's just gone off when I was reading it. Halfway through me reading it. Can we scroll up? Rude was the man who got me into footy. I remember being obsessed with how to play like United video. Sorry, with the how
Jesse
to play
appeared
like United video that Jesse appeared on in 02. Yes. Also, Brandon Reisner says, if Pep and Klopp have played their style of play with minor adjustments versus various teams, why is it so hard for Ollie to trust a consistent style of play with minor changes instead of changing tactics?
But you know what?
like City,
Every
Milan?
style of play has its positives and negatives now. Great positives are you win the league and all that. But you also have massive drop-offs.
Yeah, and you also have a bench with £400-500 million in it.
Exactly.
Apparently Janine's in the
Let's-
comments. Can't get her a fucking ironing board now, can I? Because she knows.
You'll have to get an iron. still.
Oh, you've ruined the surprise. Oh, gutted. When's your interview with Rude out?
Friday.
What time?
Fuck knows. I don't know.
Fuck knows Friday. That's what we call it.
When's your Glazer rant out?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, what time?
I don't know.
When's
Mine's
yours
at
out?
5.
I know what
as
you
soon as
do.
we finish
You
it.
subscribe and you hit the notification bell and then you'll find out,
Thank
won't
you.
you?
Right,
Otherwise,
yeah, you're right. Well done. Yours is at 5 over on your channel.
Yeah, basically, subscribe to Stretford Paddock, you cunts.
Yeah.
And like the video, please. But subscribe, like, bro,
and tweet me your favourite irons.
Yeah.
subscribe
With
to
pictures.
the thing, innit? Because seriously, on a level, like, some of you ain't subscribed. We all see the stats. Nobody else has to deal with a diabetic producer. So if anything, subscribe for the diabetic producer. Hashtag Diabetes UK.
Is he wrong birding this? Stop reading out what he says to read.
He's
Get a
down
grip.
here and he's just saying it. Right, on that bombshell. That's been Steve
We love
Howson. That's
people.
been Adam Mckola. I've been Jay.
Fuck the Glazers.
Fuck the Glazers. Thanks for watching.